How is everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. Hey, in this video, we are going to be going over the relocation checklist. If you're thinking about moving to Grand Rapids, don't do anything until you watch this video. It is coming up right now. For things to do and sights to see, you are now watching Live Great TV, and I am your official host to Living Great in Grand Rapids and the West Michigan area. My name is Vaughn Greathouse. Hey, if you want to know more about the Grand Rapids area and what it's like to live, work, and have fun in West Michigan, make sure you go right there down below on your right, hit that subscribe button, snap that notification bell, at least hit the like button so you don't miss out on all the brand new videos that I'll be putting out each and every week, because I love putting these videos out for you. But even more than that, as a licensed real estate agent in the state of Michigan, I love helping you make that transition over to the West Michigan area. So my information is below in the descriptions. Please feel free to book a call. I love to connect and chat with you. So with that being said, let's just get right into it. A lot of people are considering moving to the Grand Rapids area. I get messages and calls all the time. And like I said, I love it. I love hearing from people. I love hearing from you. And the questions that you have and the questions that a lot of people are asking are great. A lot of times it's just different perspectives, different experiences that people are having. And so as I'm able to relate with you, tell you everything that I know, being in the Grand Rapids area for so long, I've heard some of the concerns. I've heard some of the nightmares. I've heard a lot of the things that people go through in regards to coming over to the West Michigan area. So in this video, like right now, tonight on this live, we're going to go over the 10-point checklist and also have a Q&A. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just drop them in the chat as we go, and then I'll answer them accordingly. I'm just excited to get you guys over to the area so more people can experience this area. It's a growing area. Michigan, Grand Rapids is the second largest city in Michigan. So there's a lot of culture. There's a lot more people coming into the area to bring value. Home prices are good. Job market's good. It gets a little cold here. I'm not going to lie, if you're not used to cold weather. So I just want to get right into it. So what we're going to do is hop right over to my computer, and then we're going to go through them one by one, and then I'm going to connect with you all and see what you guys have on your mind. So I got my little screen up here, got my checklist ready to go. All right, let's open it up. And yeah, this is the Grand Rapids Relocating 10-point checklist, and I'm excited to get it out to you. I don't want you guys to miss a beat when it comes down to it. And I actually have some notes here that I took. So this will help you on your journey as you're preparing to move to Grand Rapids or the West Michigan area. Number one is doing your due diligence and research of GR. Now, by watching this video, you are already on your course. You're already on your path. You're doing your due diligence and you're researching the area. This is really important because is different strokes for different folks. So a lot of times you'll hear different experiences about the Grand Rapids area that may resonate with you. Some might scare you a little bit. I don't know what you're hearing out there, but I just want to give you my experience and how much I like it here. I was born and raised in Holland and Grand Rapids area. I've been here probably about 10 or 12 years, and it's absolutely phenomenal. So if you're thinking of coming, doing your due diligence, a few sites that I had that you may want to be able to check out is going to some of the Reddit forums and just connecting with real life people who are having experiences here, who visited here, who have left here. That's going to give you really good grounds as knowing what what the environment is like as you're getting ready to move over here. People just are curious, and that's part of it. Have a curiosity of a child and just really try to sort out what is it, what it's like. Maybe come here for a weekend. I tell a lot of people, come here for a weekend and get an Airbnb in a house. And you might even end up just staying a little longer. I've had people stay there. People just move on a whim. They're like, you know what? I liked it here so much. I just had to be here. So that can happen. Reddit forum, different forums, YouTube. Obviously, you're on YouTube now. That's a good one. There's Google. Go to Google and type in blogs. Find different blogs from people who live in the area. The next thing is Quora. Quora also has different forums that answer a lot of your questions. Facebook is don't sleep on Facebook. Facebook, they actually have a lot of people who have experienced the area, and that's a great way to connect. Live Great TV, that's right here. So tune into the channel. Make sure you subscribe because I always put content out every Sunday night. I'm going to be with you helping answer those questions. I want to do it live and just connect with you. And that's the purpose of Sunday nights, just to connect and just chill out, hang with each other, and get to know each other better. And even Yelp. Yelp is also a good source to go find more about the Grand Rapids area. Number two, neighborhoods. This is a big one because whenever you're living there, you're going to want to know what your neighbors are like. What's the lifestyle like around you? So neighborhoods is a big one. There are different neighborhoods that are out here. And I always explain to folks that there are different areas that have different characteristics. Like, for example, we have this place called Easttown. And if you haven't heard of Easttown in Grand Rapids, it's like the unicorn of Grand Rapids. There's nothing quite like Easttown. So when I'm working with the clients, they're like, "We want to be in Easttown." I literally can't show them much else, that resonates just like that because it has its own identity. Some people can get close, and some people can have like little hints of it, but overall, Easttown is one of those places that you really want to go there. Rockford is also another place that's north of Grand Rapids that there aren't a ton of places that are just like it. Wyoming, that's another area. So there's different areas around the Grand Rapids area that people really resonate with. So knowing what neighborhoods, West Side Connection, Fulton Heights, there is Breton Village, there's East Grand Rapids, there's a lot of different areas. So getting to know those neighborhoods, if you want the busier lifestyle, if you want the more laid back lifestyle, if you want to have that downtown hustle and bustle type of feel, it's all in Grand Rapids. So discovering those neighborhoods is going to be a really big one. Uh, a few sites to check out would be neighborhoodscout.com, is I've heard is one of the best websites you can possibly go to as far as different aspects of neighborhoods, and they do a really good analysis of neighborhoods that may help. Homefair.com is another one. Niche.com also gives you really great insight on the neighborhood. I feel like people who are parents or people who just are just anybody who knows about that area, they always put in good quality content. And even going to sites such as Realtor.com and Zillow.com to get to know those neighborhoods. I Google Earth a lot of stuff, so that's like my go-to when it comes to just seeing what it's like. Is it nicer? Is it a little rougher? Like, is it depending on what I like? And just try to get the closest resemblance to that. So neighborhoods is number two on that checklist to check off. Number three, moving companies. This is a big one because you may be moving from let's just say you're moving from Florida to Michigan, or you're moving from Washington or Utah or California to Michigan, and having these moving companies, having reliable sources to take care of your belongings is huge. I won't put names out there, but I had some people who had a nightmare with a moving company who literally just didn't communicate that well, and the communication has to be on point, and doing things such as checking the reviews, as far as what I would suggest, contacting some people that have worked with them, really getting that credibility in who those moving companies are to take care of your belongings and get it here when they say they're going to get here, so you don't have to wait on your stuff. So that's another big thing. And in regards to that, U-Haul, that's one of the biggest names that most people would recognize. Bring your own things over. That can be a little pricey and can be a lot of work if that's what you're doing, but taking your time to get here is also another thing you can do. They also run a report with U-Haul telling which cities have the most movement, and it was awesome to see where Grand Rapids was on the list. I have to put a link, or if you want to see that U-Haul report, just shoot me a message, and I can get it to you. Another company is called U-Pack. Van Lines was very highly recommended. Mayflower, and locally, we have a company. Some buddies of mine from high school a while back started a moving company, and now they're one of the top moving companies in West Michigan, and they do stuff all over the nation. So shout out to Prolo Moving. These guys are real go getters. So if you're thinking of moving in the West Michigan area or to the West Michigan area, check out Prolo. They're great guys, full of integrity. They even help my mom. So shout out to those guys. Number 4 is going to be budget and financing. This is probably where you started at the beginning, figuring out what your budget was, what your financing is, as far as what you're going to spend when, as far as your checklist. So this means how much gas are you going to spend, how much rent you're going to pay, how much money in the interim between getting in from where you live to your next house, how much that's going to cost. Those are important things as far as budgeting. I did a video on the cost of living in the West Michigan area, so please make sure to go check that out on the channel as you subscribe. And the financing. So if you're thinking of moving from state to state, my biggest recommendation is, and this is simply because of the experiences that I've had with people moving here, is find a local lender. Find someone in the area, someone such as Adam. He's in a lot of my other videos. One of my best buds that's out here doing it. Um, he'll shoot you straight, and he will tell you where you can go with your finances. He'll help you get a game plan together. So please check out Adam Bergsma with Lake State Mortgage. He's a great guy. A lot of people are using Rocket Mortgage to get their pre-approvals. But the thing about Rocket Mortgage, I think I have closed deals with them, and they've done a phenomenal job in certain cases. But it's just something about having someone local that you're able to connect with, shake hands with, meet, and you're not getting passed around to different people, even though I know that they're getting better about that service. That's just my experience for right now. It is subject to change, but I definitely want to put that out. Mint.com is a great budgeting tool. I use it quite a bit, but using Mint.com just helps you organize things, organize your thoughts, so you're clear on what moves you're making. Number 5, gonna be houses and rentals. Different areas, as far as the buyers and sellers out there. This is a seller's market. It's a competitive market, and a lot of people who are out here looking for a home, especially coming from the outside in, a lot of people are having a field day. They're like, hey, these houses are within our budget. We're getting a lot of house. We're getting a lot of land. The area is nice. We can literally do whatever we want to do now. And we're actually saving money. We sold our $900,000 2-bed 1-bath shack in California. Now we're coming to Michigan, and now we want everything. So it's really one of those deals where getting your budget, finding out some of the better areas that are out here, what condition of home you want. I actually have a home wish list that I give to my clients to help them get clear on exactly where they are and where they would like to go. So if you want that PDF, shoot me a message and I'll get it right over to you. The next thing is choosing a good agent in the area as you're looking for houses. My services are available, but I also understand that not everybody is my client. I'm cool with that. If you just want to come here and get info and take it and run, do it. That's why I'm putting it out here. Someone who's reputable, reliable, and resourceful as far as getting you what you need. A lot of times I'll put together a full checklist of vendors in the area that I know and trust that you can use as you're in your new home. Since you don't know many people, if you want that, message me and I can get you that as well. Going on these sites, finding out where your budget is, finding out what the market activity is, how busy is it, and that way you're going to know exactly what to do when it comes down to making an offer. Now, as far as rentals go, I just want to make this clear, I personally do not handle rentals. I primarily am working in real estate sales. However, to give you a good look on what to expect in regards to getting into an apartment, it's competitive. And I just did a recent video about the rates of apartments. They're going up in the Grand Rapids area. So locking one in is also going to be competitive, and knowing that you're going to pay a premium as the prices are going up. Just prepare for that. And Craigslist and Facebook. Craigslist, believe it or not, came to me by surprise because I know lately, like, not a lot of people use Craigslist, especially since like Facebook Marketplace came into play, and it's a great site. I think the reason why is because people who may be kind of, older, or just experienced landlords who have properties, they've always just thrown it on Craigslist. So the ones who have the majority of the properties might not be in touch with Facebook Marketplace. They're like, just throw it on Craigslist, and boom, these people find places. Be careful because there are scams and whatnot out there. You don't want to get caught up in that. Find a reputable real estate agent to kind of check in, or someone who works that area to make sure you're not just throwing money away. So look out for that. Facebook Marketplace, they're always coming and going, so keeping your eye on those areas. Tuning in, checking in with the Grand Rapids area is going to give you a really, really good possibility. Apartments.com is also another good site. Let's go to the next one, which is number 6, activities and events. Now, that just like the Grand Rapids area has different neighborhoods, we have a lot of different activities to do out here, different events that come. We're becoming more well known as far as like national tours. And I just did a video with Adam, and he was explaining especially that Grand Rapids area is kind of on the map now in regards to Detroit. People are coming to Detroit, or they're going to Grand Rapids. Some people are going up north, like to Mackinac or like Traverse City, but Grand Rapids is definitely a buzzing place as far as like big tours coming. I know that they're having Justin Bieber's coming to town pretty soon. There's this Mavic City or Magic City. It's like a gospel group. They're coming to town. Brooks and Dunn were just here the other night. Big names come out here all the time. So if you're interested in moving and being in an area where it's kind of happening, but it's not a Chicago or a Miami or a LA or anything like that, you still can go, drive 10, 15 miles away and be peaceful. That's the Grand Rapids area. As far as activities, now there's one thing I always highlight. GRSSC is a Grand Rapids Sports and Social Club, and that's a great way to meet people if you're new to the area and you want to have some fun. They have different things like frisbee, flag football, kickball, dodgeball, all sorts of different things that you can connect, and they kind of mix the teams up. So you get to know people and you have fun, and then afterwards you'll just go to like one of the sponsors and then eat and drink, and meet more people. So that's a good opportunity. If you like trails and outdoorsy type of things, come on. This is Michigan, pure Michigan. You've seen the commercials. So when it comes to like, kayaking or canoeing or just finding a stream or going on a hike or going on a nature walk, this is one of the best places to do so. And even I had a client coming to town who's like, I'm from the Chicago area. I just want more nature walks and more like scenery, something beautiful. And we found the perfect place for them. And they're literally super excited to move over here. And knowing that people who want those trails outdoors, if you mountain bike, anything that you do as far as outdoors, camping, oh my goodness. We went to Manistee a couple years ago and had an absolute blast. Pitched a tent, put a fire out. It was just, that is so accessible here. It's like no other time. In the fall, there are apple orchards. We can go to the U-Pick. We can go to corn mazes. All sorts of great food, great atmosphere, bonfires. It's a really great time in the fall. Winter time, we can go sledding. They got Cannonsburg Ski Resort. They got zip lines. They got all sorts of things in the area to keep you busy if you're an outdoorsy person. And then if you're not an outdoorsy person, we have some swimming pools. We have some downtown lifestyle. We got some comedy shows, great restaurants, fine dining. We got good sushi over here. So different things to do in the area. Rosa Parks Circle, there's always events, dances. I even saw swing dancers at Rosa Parks Circle one time, just having a blast. So a lot of things to do as far as activities and events. Let's go to number 7, school districts and pet care. I always have to try to keep everyone included. Some people don't have kids, and that's totally fine. But as far as the school districts are a really big deal to some people as they're moving out here. They want to know which school districts are the better ones, which ones are the not as popular ones. And great places to start as far as sites is niche.com, like I was referring to before. School Digger is a website that you should check out. And then greatschools.org are great sites to check out if you need any further assistance on those. Just kind of digging in. Maybe you've narrowed it down to a couple. Just get a hold of me, hit me up, and I'll definitely point you in the right direction. Now, as far as those school districts, they have different divisions or conferences of schools. And where we are, the most prominent ones in the bigger schools are in the OK Red conference. I think they have like OK Green and different ones that are more on the outskirts of Grand Rapids. But in the OK Red, we have cities like Caledonia, East Kentwood, Grand Haven, Grandville, Hudsonville, Rockford, West Ottawa, and Jenison. Holland used to be in it, but I think they moved them not too long ago. And I'm from the Holland area, so it was interesting to see that be updated. But that's that. As far as pet care, if you got Fido, you got Fifi, you got the little cat, your dog, whoever it is, you might be might be like your baby. Some people just love their pets. That's their baby. So having good pet care. There's a place called I always forget the name of this place, but it's in Rockford, and I did a video on all the 10 best dog parks to take your dog. So if you're a dog lover, go check that out. It's it's on the way. It's on West River Drive. It's called the Bark, I believe, the Barking Lot, I think. But the Pack. It's called the Pack. That's the name of it. So check the Pack out. They have there's like a huge. It's indoor, and it's all like dog and dog arena, and there also is like coffee. There's spots you can just put your computer at and just watch your dog and work if you want. So doing that, finding some of those better places to have your dog and your cat taken care of is really good. So definitely wanted to point that out. Number 8, jobs or business opportunities. The jobs in this area, I also did another video, the top 10 employers. They still stand. The top 10 employers still stand in this area. And right now, a lot of people are hiring. So coming out here, getting established, getting a good footing, or if you're already in an industry in some of those top 10 industries, I'm going to have you go check that video out. If you're in any of those industries, moving is going to be a breeze. I had a client who was working with a factory, wanted to get a job to see if they had locations here. Boom, moved them over in a matter of like 2 months. So it is very, very possible. Just to name off the top 5 employers, you're going to be looking at Spectrum Health, Meyer Corporate, and Meyer is like a supermarket out here. It's really big all over kind of the Midwest. Mercy Health, Gentex, and Gordon Foods. So if you are considering getting a job out here and you don't know where to start there, and you'll probably end up landing a job. Just don't lose it. And I want to get into if you're a business person, business opportunity. One thing that I really enjoy about the Grand Rapids area is the fact that a lot of people are really open to new businesses, and not just the community itself, but even the people who are higher up. Now, the Van Andel family and the DeVos family are very prominent names in the West Michigan area, and they always give back. This is a great thing because of the fact that everybody's like, oh, these people have so much money, da 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 da. But they're very big givers, and they have this thing called Start Garden, which actually pledges money to entrepreneurs and people who have business ideas to help them get off the ground, kind of like Shark Tank. So if you have ideas and things like that, you really want to grow yourself, expand yourself, check out Start Garden in the Grand Rapids area. They have different boot camps and clinics, different events. They have like a top 10 night. I think it's like the top 10 or top 5 night where you go and watch the top 5 ideas that they just invested in. And you really get to see some awesome stuff, some nice stuff as far as these ideas, these clever people who are in the Grand Rapids area. Great minds out here, great network of people to connect with. So shout out to Star Garden, shout out to the DeVos and Van Anda family. We really appreciate you and everyone who's involved with them a lot. So you can go right down and get a DBA at Kent County, get you right on your way. So number 9, transportation. This is really big because some people don't drive. Some people just don't like traffic, and that's okay too, because I don't always like it. So there's 2 main buses that are out here in the Grand Rapids area specifically. Now each other cities have their own like shuttles and ferries and things like that you can find like in Holland or Grand Haven. You know, I would say any population that's over probably 25, 30,000, you'll see a bus, system set up. The Dash is a free way to get around, mainly the downtown area, which that isn't really that big. You literally can walk from one side, the southeast side of Grand Rapids, to the northwest in about a half hour, 45 minutes, depending on how much you want to walk. So it's probably about 8 or 10 miles all the way. But I'm not walking 8 miles, but anyways, you can use the rapid. If not, that's like $1.75. It just as far as just going from one place to the next, or you can pay $3.50 for the entire day and ride the rapid, which goes kind of on the outskirts of Grand Rapids area as well. It goes through like Wyoming, and if you need to get to Allendale, you could do it that way too. Uber and Lyft are also here, very prominent. You can catch an Uber, catch a Lyft. And get around with them, and the Uber fares aren't that crazy here because the demand's not that high. There's not a ton of people. Sometimes I feel like there's a lot of people, but there's not very many people, especially in the area. We're definitely growing and expanding. They have the train station and the bus station. They're connected right downtown, right across the street from Founders, off of Granville Ave. I think they changed the name to Cesar Chavez Ave, but I think that's really new. You can catch an Amtrak train. You can take it right out to Chicago. You can go to Detroit. Like I said, Grand Rapids is centrally located, so you're right where you need to be in regards to just getting around, going to different places. Greyhound buses go through there as well. So that's that. And then last but not least, drum roll, please. The weather. Yes, yes, yes. I probably don't even really need to go into this much, but I will, just because you might be coming from Arizona, or you might be coming from one of those hot states that I wish I was at right now, or at least I wish I was at during the middle of winter as I'm being cold. But cold isn't that bad, especially when you got things to do during the wintertime. We make it fun out here. So one thing you're definitely going to need is a shovel. If you never used a shovel for snow, you're going to need one. You go right over to Meyer while you're applying for a job, grab your shovel. One thing you got to have out here is a sled. You got to have some salt. You got to lay the salt out, because that's what we do so we don't slip and fall. We put the salt out. Get a winter coat. I was talking with Adam, and when his wife moved out to Michigan from California, she had to get a winter coat. So we're like, hey, get you a winter coat. And she finally got one. So don't wear shorts in the wintertime. I always see, this is the thing about people who are born and raised in Michigan. Some will wear shorts and a sweater in the middle of wintertime. I don't understand it. I don't do it myself. But so if you see it, don't freak out. These people are probably just hot-blooded or warm, so just leave them alone. Make sure whenever you do get a house, you have a house with a garage. Some people don't really care. One of my family members got a house and got a garage when they didn't have one. And I'm like, you don't use your garage? And they're like, no, I don't use it. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. And also have a snow brush for your car. I always see people with their, what they'll do is they'll put their hand in their sleeve like this and wipe the snow off. Don't do that, because your arm's gonna be froze the rest of the day. Get a snow brush. They're only like $5 or $10. If you got to go to the Dollar Tree, which is now $1.25, you'll be in good shape. So summertime, we have a lot of fun in the summer. No one does summers like Michiganders. We're always on the boat. We're always doing fun things as far as some of these parks out here, picnicking, hanging out downtown, going to shows and events on the outside. We have a event called Breakaway that comes every year now, the past 4 or 5 years already, and they bring headline artists. They've had Black Bear, Wiz Khalifa, they have Zed, they've had Kygo, they've had a lot of big country artists, Travis Scott. Like, I'm trying to think who else they've had. A lot of really big names. So if you're interested in like the pop culture, that's a really cool thing to go through. It comes in usually around August every year, so make sure you get your tickets for that. That's pretty much it. Oh, that's what I did want to make sure that you have. You got to have bug spray out here. So if you're coming from like Arizona, when I was there, I didn't really, I really didn't, expect to have no bugs, and I like that. But if you're coming here from Arizona, get you some bug spray, keep some in the car just in case, in case you forget. And then also, you want to make sure you have good car insurance. One thing that is a negative about Michigan is that we have high auto insurance. So it's the highest out of all the 50 states, but there's potholes. We always say we have 2 seasons in Michigan. We have construction and we have winter. So in the wintertime, the salt hits the roads, and then they make these potholes, and in the summer they fill them. And that's just the cycle of Michigan. So make sure you have good car insurance when you're coming out here. In the wintertime, make sure you have a leaf blower, just because you might not want to be out there sweating and raking. Some people love it, man. Some people live for it. In the spring, make sure you have a power washer and some rain boots. Those are the 10. That's it. That's it. Those are the 10 things to look out for as you're coming to the West Michigan area. Again, I'm gonna get out of the screen real quick so I can look at you in the face here, and it's really a great experience to come and help you as you're making your decisions in the West Michigan area. It's my honor and my privilege to be able to help you guys get out here. So if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. Now, let's hop right on over and see what you guys are talking about in the chat here. I hope everybody's doing well. Let's see what we got. Desiree Smith is on. How's it going? I hope everybody's doing well today. Detroit will, of course, have more to do than Grand Rapids, but it's not as livable. I see what you mean. A lot of homeless people in the Grand Rapids downtown. It's not that big there. And so, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Mac Man says, I retired in Florida. Now I'm in my hometown here in Louisville. Became interested in GR last year. Not sure what to do. Yeah, I mean, it's really one of those deals where, doing your due diligence is going to put you in such a good position, and having it mapped out, having it planned out. I'm actually thinking about putting together something where people can kind of keep that checklist as they're preparing to come, even if it's in a year from now. Just having something that'll have you ready as you're making your way. So I appreciate that. You answered my question about rentals. Awesome. August. Oh, hi, Augusta. Good to hear from you. It was day 101. Trust me, you don't want to be here. I see where you're coming from. Yeah, I'm excited for you to get out to the Grand Rapids area as well. It's really I think those are all in the chat. So thank you all for like tuning in and checking in with me. It's in my honor, my privilege to help you get over to the West Michigan area. So as much as I can help, that's why I'm here every Sunday night. Check in with me, and I'm glad to help you out as much as I possibly can to make your transition smooth. Again, for things to do and sights to see, this is Live Great TV, and I'm your official host to Living Great in Grand Rapids and the West Michigan area. My name's Vaughn Greathouse. If you want to know more about Grand Rapids, what it's like to live, work, and have fun in West Michigan, go right below on your bottom right, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I do a brand new video. I love putting them out, but more than that, as a licensed real estate agent, it's my honor, my duty, my privilege to help you to come to the Grand Rapids area. So my information is below on the bottom. Make sure you tune in with me when you're ready. Until next time, we will see you on the next video. All of the lights.